Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum to all my brothers and sisters. As you could tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about my revert story to Islam, and this is something that is very personal for me, and I wasn't going to talk about it really, but I realized that this is who I am now, and I want to embrace it, and I want to be proud of it, and I just want to share my story because when I used to watch revert stories and I was thinking about reverting to Islam, it was something that was very touching and inspiring and motivational for me. So I want to share my story, and even if you're not thinking to convert to Islam or anything, I hope it can give you a new perspective, and maybe even start thinking about having just a relationship with God and whatever religion it may be. So I'm just gonna get into it. So pretty much, I grew up a Catholic and I did everything. I was baptized, my first communion, confirmation, Sunday school, everything. I did all of that. However, along the way, or I guess maybe even the whole time, I never really felt a connection with God. I never really filled that gap was never filled for me. I was never really taking it on or being very religious. Definitely, after I stopped going to Sunday school or Sunday church, I just never really kept going with it. It kind of got lost. I wasn't practicing at all. But I guess throughout the past 5 years, I would consider myself more on the spiritual path. But even then, I never felt like I was connecting with anything. Really, what was missing was that connection with God. And I never found that until I found Islam. And I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I guess the only time I was ever exposed to Islam, the first time was my stepsister, who also had reverted. And I used to be around her and her children a lot when I was younger. And I always used to be so curious and actually very proud to have been around them and to learn from them. However, as I got older, I never really saw them as much, so that curiosity faded away. And the second time that I was exposed to Islam was through one of my ex-partners, and he was Muslim, and he definitely taught me a lot about Islam. He taught me a lot of Arabic. He taught me a lot about the culture, tried a lot of the food, and definitely learned a lot about prayer and Ramadan. But when we were together, I guess I never really made the effort to learn more or dive deeper into it. I never felt that calling at the time. But I definitely learned a lot more being with him. So I guess the way that I actually found Islam was, back in October 2021. I was in a very dark place in my life. I felt like I was spiraling in my emotions. I felt like I didn't know how to handle my emotions. And this was a part of myself that I had thought I healed. However, I didn't, and I realized that I didn't. And I saw myself going back to how I thought I was healing myself was through distraction, drinking, partying, this, that, all this other stuff, when I wasn't actually addressing the issue or the problem, and I wasn't actually healing myself. It was all just distractions. So I found myself in this place again of not happy with who I was. I felt a lot of guilt and a lot of shame in my heart, and I knew that I wasn't who I was supposed to be. I wasn't fulfilling my soul. There was something missing there, and it was heavy. It was very heavy, and it was very dark. I was in and out of the hospital, and I had this feeling in me. Sorry, I don't want to get emotional. I had this feeling in me that I just wanted it to stop. I just wanted to stop feeling this way. I felt a lot of guilt and a lot of shame, and it was taking over me. And was trying really hard, and my friends and my family, they didn't know how else to help me. They didn't know what else to do, and really it was up to me to change my mindset and my perspective, and to stop, I guess, feeling sorry for myself. And I was really trying to find a new way, or I was trying to find a new way to find myself, and who I was always meant to be. So when I saw myself almost going down that path again of distractions, I had to take a step back, and I had to really be alone to understand who I needed to be. And Islam popped into my head because I remember through my ex-partner, the discipline and the good character, and the accountability that I saw was in Islam. And I decided to buy the Quran because I just wanted to learn more. It wasn't really to convert, actually it wasn't at all. I just really wanted to learn. I felt like I was ignorant. So I just bought the Quran one day, not realizing that it would literally change my life. So I bought it, and 5 pages in, I was hooked. I mean, I truly felt like God was speaking to me. And, a lot of my friends and my family would say, everything's going to be okay. Like, time heals everything. Like, you'll be all right. You are blessed. You are loved. But it wasn't until I heard these words from God that it made all the difference. And it was just so clear to me, and I didn't have to read between the lines. I didn't have to guess what it was saying. It was just very straightforward, and it gave me a lot of guidance in my life, and it gave me peace in my heart. And Islam is very, very detailed, and it has a lot of guidance for everything. It's literally a code of conduct, and everything that it was saying I was already aligned with, for myself. And it just made all the sense to me. And so I just kept reading, and I was going deeper and deeper into it. And I found myself just so eager and excited to learn more. Like, I would even be at work, or I would be hanging out with my friends, and I'd just be so eager to go home and learn more about Islam. Like, that's all I wanted to do. I almost became a little bit obsessed with it. Like, every single night, even to this day, I study at least for a couple hours about Islam, learning more and this and that, and reading the Quran. And it really just gives me peace in my heart, and it reminds me of how to be a good person, maintain myself, and like just be in a neutral ground. It really just helps me to stay calm and cool and collected and stuff like that. So it really, really helped me to have accountability. And I think that was really important to me. Accountability and discipline was 2 things that I knew that I wanted to improve in my life. And Islam definitely gave that to me. And I feel like a lot of people think that Islam is very harsh, or it's outdated. But at the end of the day, I realized that these things are really just benefits to you. And yeah, discipline is hard, and you may hate it at first, but you begin to love it because you see the benefits in it, and you see how much it's doing well for you. And for me, I'm a very sensitive person. I feel a lot. I feel a lot, and I realized that I needed protection. There's a lot of evil in this world, and there's a lot of negativity and things and people that are trying to bring you down. And I feel like in Islam, it really is a protection from that. So I realized that, and it's something that I knew that I needed, because I'm so sensitive to that type of thing. So it just really made sense to me, and I felt more protected, and I felt more at ease. And that's really what it was for me. I was going through these hardships, and I just really felt at ease, searching for an answer, searching for a way, like how can I stop feeling this way? And it was just there in front of my face, and it's what helped me. It was better than any therapy that I could have received. And the peace in my heart is just something that I can't even really explain at this point. It really, it just speaks for itself. So yeah, was studying every single day, and I realized that I was a little bit lonely in it because I couldn't talk to anybody about it. I couldn't share my excitement with anybody. I couldn't share my love of Allah to anybody. I didn't really want to freak out my friends or my family, or, I didn't want to make them uncomfortable. So it was kind of lonely at first, learning by myself. And then one day I met Aisha, and at a flea market. She was wearing the hijab, she was doing henna, and I saw her, and immediately I got so excited, and I felt this connection with her, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to talk to her, you know what I mean? So I went up to her and I got henna, and I was like, I'm really interested in learning more of Islam. And she was so welcoming, alhamdulillah, for her and her family. She really was like, text me with any questions that you have. She gave me a bunch of books. She invited me over to her home. And this was really a big part of it because it made me feel more comfortable about it. And I learned so much through her too. She taught me how to do wudu for the first time. She taught me how to pray for the first time. And there's things that her and her family taught me about Islam that I probably would have never known on my own if I was just researching online or whatever. So, just really happy to have met her. We both believe that we met each other for a reason, and it's such a beautiful connection that happened. So that really sparked things for me. So the day that she taught me how to pray, ever since then, I prayed every single day, once a day, continued to study. I was learning the salah, the prayer, and I really just wanted to make sure that these were things that I loved. Before I fully took my shahada, I really wanted to make sure that I loved prayer. And, lo and behold, I actually fell in love with prayer. Prayer is something that is so powerful and so beautiful to me, to be able to just reset 5 times a day and just talk and connect with my creator, with Allah. It really is something that is beautiful, and it really helps me to just stay focused, reminds me of the deen, it elevates my imam, and I'm happy to have been able to experience it and to have it be so easy for me. So yeah, I started praying, and then ever since I took my shahada, I pray 5 times a day. It's something that I love to do. It's something that I'm very eager to do every day. So Allah made a lot of things easy for me, alhamdulillah. And yeah, I eat halal, everything. I quit alcohol. This is something that was very important for me because I knew alcohol was really bad for me, and it was affecting me in every way. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And I was struggling to fix my relationship with it. I was struggling to quit and to let go. I wasn't like an alcoholic or anything, but every time I drank, I just had this guilt every single morning that just took over every single time. And I knew that it was something that I needed to get rid of. But, it wasn't until I said, Bismillah, in the name of God, I am quitting alcohol. It wasn't until then that it was just so easy for me, and I haven't looked back since. I don't plan on drinking anymore. I'd love to do actually another video about that. I mean, it's kind of personal, but honestly, that's a whole nother story. But I'm just happy that I was able to let that go. And ever since, I just feel so much peace in my heart. I feel like my character has grown immensely, and it really is just a great way to be a good person. And like I said earlier, the accountability is a really big thing for me, is being accountable for your actions and things like that. So truly, truly is a beautiful religion. I'm so happy that Allah chose me to go down this path and down this journey. I really just wanted to talk about this because, I don't know, maybe one day it can inspire somebody to look into Islam, or just to even have a relationship with God, because it's so important. And prayer is so important. Action is important. You could have so many things in your mind, you could have so much knowledge in your mind, but applying your knowledge and being actionable in what you know, and striving every day to be a good person is just something I think is really important. So yeah, I'm happy and I'm proud to be a Muslim. And, I really hope that this video was helpful to people. I would love to do a Q&A, maybe talking a little bit more specifically about how I learned how to pray or the things that I've learned, YouTube videos, apps, websites, whatever question you have for me, I would love to answer them. Any way for me to be helpful. And I think just in general, I hope that this video was motivational, or it was just a nice story to listen to. But yeah, so I will see you guys another time. I'm going to try to make some more videos, but for the time being, I hope all is well and wishing you all peace. So yes, take care. Bye.